Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. I just wanted to put out a little wrestling video for you guys. Maybe they'll start up a little discussion in the comments box, so on and so forth. Maybe get a little breakout discussion on Twitter. We can get started right here for you. But none other than the Royal Rumble is right up around the corner. One of the most historic and most popular pay-per-views of the year that WWE does. Always, so many people enter, 30 people, and, a lot of them are the jabronis that ride the bottom of the card. A lot of the big names are in there every year. If they're not involved in the championship matches or even like old school, even if you had a championship match, you're still thrown in there. I think they've even done that in the past years where Ziggler's run in there. But I don't know. There's a lot of guys' names out there of who's going to do what. A lot revolves around what's going to happen on this next Monday Night Raw with the TLC match. See who's going to get the title between CM Punk and Ryback in Punk's first match in over a month. You never know. I mean, they could put that title on Ryback to keep him going in the right way. I mean, you can see that he's got a lot of people behind him, and he's got a big push of fans out there. So, hey, you never know. It could throw a wrench into the whole Punk versus Rock at the Rumble, which I think is going to happen. I think it's still going to happen. But, hey, WWE is on a slow streak. They have to prove to their people that sponsor their show and put the commercials on there that the last 2 weeks have been a fluke because they pulled the bad schedule of having Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve shows. So people are going to be out not watching wrestling. Hopefully the DVR numbers will pull them back up, but obviously those shows weren't even good enough to DVR for, I think, a lot of people. But I think if you run down the roster, there's a lot of former champions that are going to be in there. Guys like Rey Mysterio, The Miz, Alberto Del Rio. Those guys have no shot in hell. All three of those guys are sort of lost on where they are in the roster. Mysterio's wrapped up being some tag team wrestler, not even treating it as a single star, trying to give a rub to Sin Cara. The Miz and Alberto Del Rio both turned from heels to babyface, and I don't think they've gotten the feel of what to do with their character, so I don't give them a shot in hell in what they're going to do. They like to push out their Randy Orton. Randy Orton's a guy that's been face for a while. And, in his personal life that he wants to turn heel, so he has something to revolve around. The guy bores the hell out of me both ways, but it would give a little spike to it if they were able to turn him. From there, I'm not sure what they would do, but Orton hasn't really found his place in the roster. I think since he's lost his title to Mark Henry over a year ago at Vengeance. Maybe that wasn't Vengeance, it was the pay-per-view before that, but I mean... he just hasn't found his ground. I don't think this is what's going to save him. You got guys. Who else is out there that could win the Rumble from the SmackDown side? Sheamus won it last year. A lot of times they like to use the Rumble to capitalize on it. Do they want somebody to win it 2 years in a row like Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold Steve Austin? And I think those are the only people that have ever won it twice in a row. But I'm not sure that Sheamus is that guy. I mean, Sheamus has got the title shots the last few pay-per-views in a row up against Big Show. Wasn't able to get the job done. Are they going to let that that pay-per-view run? A streak of matches with Big Show and Sheamus run like 6 months? I don't think so. I think they're going to get a new fresh face in there. What that means for Sheamus and who he's going to face at WrestleMania, I have no clue. But I didn't have much faith in the Randy Orton versus Kane match, and that ended up pulling off. Kane's a guy, Daniel Bryan, both of those guys, I don't think they really have a shot in winning it. Being involved in a tag team right now sort of shoots them down. The one guy that I really, really do think has a shot to win it and, put the big staple on his momentum is Ryback. I think he's the easiest guy to pick just for the fact of what they're going to do. Another guy that I would keep as my my number 2 choice for the one factor as you never know what's going to happen and what they're going to do. I think that he's going to come back, and I think he's going to have his match with Triple H and keep that going. Is Brock Lesnar. I know that he's not really involved in the product right now, but when they keep talking about this next Monday Night Raw, to make it a real big one, they keep saying all hands on deck, all hands on deck. And, if you're going to have all hands on deck for the WWE, I mean, that means having every guy on the roster who's not injured on that show to try to give it that kick in the pants. And Brock Lesnar is on the roster, no matter if they use him, a little bit or a whole lot. And I think he would be a force. He is a team Heyman member, and I think it would be in his best interest to make sure that CM Punk kept that title. And something between Ryback and Brock Lesnar would be huge. Another guy that could come back and do it is The Undertaker. I think a lot of people would like to see an Undertaker versus CM Punk match, and that might not be the best way to put together those two guys in a match for WrestleMania, but it is the easiest to keep the championship on Punk and have him win the Rumble and have him come out there. But I still want to pick the number one guy is Ryback to win it. What that means for who he's going to face, you would think the character of Ryback, the one guy that he wants to kill more than anybody, is CM Punk. He's going to get his one chance at Monday Night Raw, and if he loses that match, which I think he's going to do, isn't he going to want some sort of payback? I mean, I think that would have to be sort of the end of that, unless you put these guys in the Elimination Chamber and let them beat the holy hell out of each other with 5 other guys in there. I'm not sure, if Ryback was to win this. When I always think about the guys winning the Rumble and getting to pick it, the best thing I think they've ever done is put Undertaker out there, and they had the 3 champions at the time. Edge, John Cena, and Bobby Lashley in the ring on Raw, and Undertaker had to choose who he was going to go up against. Like there was a chance in hell he was going to go up against Bobby Lashley and try to take that ECW championship. I have no clue what the hell they thought that was going to do to give him a rub, but I don't know. That was stupid. But I mean, if you put him out there, is he going to go after a guy that wins this, like The Rock? Is he going to try and say that he is going to face The Rock, which I think they're going to do Rock versus Cena at WrestleMania in the first place? So what makes Ryback not want to face him? He'd have to go over and face whoever it is on SmackDown who has the title at the time. It could be Big Show if he keeps the title. I honestly was a big fan, not a big fan of Big Show winning the title. And running with it, but I mean he's had a pretty good run. He's been up against Sheamus, and the matches have been good, and he's a good champion on TV, and a believable guy as well. And I sort of root for the Big Show at the same time that I sort of don't like him that much either, because he sort of bores the pants off me. But every once in a while, he becomes a guy of interest, and he is a monster. He's a one of a kind of guy to have out there. So I'm not saying that I want him to leave. It's just sometimes I just get a little bit bored of him, especially when he's a good guy. Then he just bores the hell out of me. Another guy is talking about the heel turn of Randy Orton. Maybe he finds a way to put the strap on him, and then you have Ryback versus Randy Orton, which is a good match. I think it makes a lot of sense. But who's your guys' picks? You can send them to me on here, or put them in the description box, or make a video with your video response of who you think's going to win the 2013 Royal Rumble, and go on from there to put the strap on them. They had a good streak of times when people didn't win the belt, and last year it was Sheamus who finally was the Royal Rumble winner, who turned it in to the big win of putting the strap around his waist. Honestly, this year I think is the 1 year since whatever year it was that Rey Mysterio won it. I think that this is the year that the Royal Rumble will not main event. I think it'll be that that second to last thing, and the main event will be Rock versus Punk. Because honestly, in my opinion, I think that's everybody who's going to be buying this show is going to want to see is the main event. That's where the money's at. That's what they're putting all the commercials around. The Royal Rumble is a big deal, but they're not making it as big a deal as Rock coming back for the first time in a long time, and having a match for the WWE Championship the night after WrestleMania. He said that was his goal, and hopefully he can put together a good match with CM Punk and then go on to WrestleMania and face Cena. That's my dream come true, but let me know what yours is. Thanks, everybody. Peace out.